few months ago, I happened to be in a used bookshop in Amsterdam and stumbled upon a fascinating book by the name of Esoteric Healing by Alice Bailey. This is over 700 pages long. I devoured it in just a few weeks and bookmarked what looks like every other page. And I wanted to share a summary of what this is all about. And I think I found this so fascinating because I've conversed with hundreds of people that happen to be afflicted with a specific skin ailment, and noticed that many share similar personality traits and life experiences, which made me realize that there's probably something going on behind the scenes, but I was never able to really put my finger on just what that is and understand the mechanics of all this. And this book seems to make it make sense. This may or may not be accurate, but nonetheless, it's still a very constructive and harmless way of looking at illness. So the gist of it is as follows. It is that all disease is the result of inhibited soul life. So we have a dense physical body, and it explains that we have an etheric body made up of 7 energy centers or chakras corresponding to our endocrine glands. And then we have an astral body, which is where we are when we're dreaming. We have a mental body, and then there's a soul. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's basically the infrastructure of a human being. And the soul wants to permeate its energy through all those subtler bodies. And if it's unable to do that, it'll create a point of friction to get your attention. And that point of friction will correspond with your level of spiritual development. So some people have health issues related to their root chakra, and it'll be located in that area. Other people will have heart problems or mental illnesses. So it's corresponding to the endocrine gland or the energy center, or that needs a freer flow of energy, of soul energy. And if that's not possible, it'll create this point of friction. And if it's able to be cured, then it'll be a cleansing process because it'll retune your whole self to be of greater use to your soul. And if the soul deems it necessary, it'll kill off the body, basically. So that's the two uses of disease. It's either to retune your life and your whole body, all of your bodies, or it's to move on. Because the soul is oblivious to whether or not we live to 100. It wants to express itself fully and learn in this dense physical reality via cause and effect. And a lot of this, it says, is governed by karma. So what this means is maybe the people that I'm corresponding with share similar karmic debt, in that they misused free will in a similar fashion, either in this life or past lives. And the purpose of this specific ailment is to even out the scale and pay off that debt, burn it off. Okay, so again, disease can have 2 purposes: cleansing, and when this is the case, a cure is possible, like in non-deadly illnesses. And it can also be a gradual and slow process of dying and releasing the soul to set it free for other service. Not to say that, in deadly illnesses, Western medicine should not be used to, prolong life. But if it's a lost battle, that's what's going on. And I think the most revelatory and poetic statement from this book is as follows. It's that disease, both physical and psychological, has its roots in the good, the beautiful, and the true. It is but a distorted reflection of divine possibilities. The thwarted soul, seeking full expression of some divine characteristic or inner spiritual reality, produces within the substance of its sheaths a point of friction. Upon this point, the eyes of the personality are focused, and this leads to disease. And I think this is a beautiful way of looking at disease, because if we were to imagine what is the inverse of whatever I'm suffering from, what does that look like? What does the positive expression of my soul look like instead of this illness that's currently manifesting the state of my soul? So I hope this has been of insight. If this interests you, I encourage you to seek out this book and come to your own conclusions. If you have something to share, feel free to leave a comment, and thank you so much for watching.